And there
Bet.
we go.
You ain't got no freestyle tees.
Yeah,
You still
yeah.
saving your
All right, here we go.
bomb.
Since it's
Here we go. Here we
right,
go. Mr.
Father's Day
Dawn.
weekend and Juneteenth. Okay. Um, that's all I
Off the
got.
dome. That's it.
I had like a
Dang.
little, I had a little black man rap in my head, but it just
We
yeah.
ain't come out.
Yeah, shout out to all the brothers.
All right. Okay. That's cool. Then that's cool. That's
Okay.
cool. So we another week we back. What's this episode 43?
43. Yeah, 43.
43?
Mhm.
43. I'm trying to think. Tease, who's 43? Athlete, football, basketball. Who's 43? Tease? I can't think of nobody right off the dome right now.
I can't, that's your job.
43 is like an
You
odd
know.
number. It's like an odd number.
It
I'm
is. I
trying to
don't know
think.
anybody that has 43. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
42 was
We got
easy.
43.
42 was easy. We knew that was going to be Jackie Robinson. So,
I'm gonna just throw this out there, and the listeners, subscribers, if I'm wrong, comment, let me know. Number 43, Philadelphia 76ers, back in the day, late 80s, early 90s, Armand Gilliam. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
okay, we'll
Just
we'll
throw
we'll,
it
we'll
out
have
there.
somebody fact check.
So somebody who's an NBA head like me, they'll be like, they'll tell me if it's right or wrong. But we back.
Yeah.
Once again, we back on another day, and it's hell outside, Tease. Just like we talked
Definitely.
about last week. It was hot as hell last week.
Giving hell again. It's
And they
definitely
hit
giving
again.
hell. It's giving
So,
global warming.
so I'm Coach Mo. We got Tease.
Yeah.
This should be a nice episode tonight. I think people are gonna enjoy this. I think this is gonna be an episode for both men and women
Yeah.
because we're gonna learn something tonight. We're gonna learn something, and
On
hopefully,
tonight.
yeah. So it's gonna be a good episode.
Yeah. So before we go in, as y'all can see, we do have a guest, Mr. Mike Williams. Which I'm sorry, y'all, if I'm a little hoarse. I was had a busy weekend. Actually singing. I can't sing, but I was actually singing. So that's why I'm a little hoarse. I was singing all weekend. But yeah, but we got a special guest, Mr. Mike Williams, Chef Mike. So before we get to interviewing him, I'm gonna give him a second to kind of like introduce himself. Tell our listeners, our watchers a little bit about yourself, Mike.
What's up, y'all? So my name is Mike Williams. I'm at Instagram at _ Mike Made It. I'm originally from Chicago, born and raised West Side.
West Side,
right?
We got some nerd with some White Sox hats on, but yeah, West Side. I'm in Atlanta now. I've been in Atlanta, since 2008, and yeah, over the past few years, I've been doing my thing in the culinary world. Positioning and trying to transition from being an architect. So my training and my degree is in architecture. So I'm trying to pivot and transition out of that and go into the culinary world and the culinary side of things. So we'll talk a little bit about that stuff. I'm also a musician as well. A lot of people in Chicago know me as a musician.
That's who I know, Mike the musician.
Wow,
right. Right. So I do a little bit of everything, but for me, it's like I find that all of my gifts and talents are kind of based around the arts and creativity. So yeah, so that's what's up, man. I am old, and you tell by the grades coming in. I got my son. So my son just made 22 last. He's a millennium baby, so he goes with the year. He just made 22 last month. So yeah, I celebrated Father's Day yesterday. Shout out to all the fathers. Happy Father's Day. And yeah, man. So I'm just here to have a good time on the pod with you guys. Let's have a good convo, good dialogue.
For sure. We thank you for coming for sure. So let's just get right to it. So, like I said, I know Mike the musician for as long as I've known you, had no idea that you were a chef. So when did that whole Chef Mike, how did that start?
Yeah, because for as long as you've known me, I wasn't a chef. Yeah. That's kind of what it is. But it started like I've always been around like good food. Like my family, everybody from my grandparents to my dad, my mom, just all good, great cooks. Like my grandmother's house was like the house that people would say for like their last stop of the day, like after they spend the day with their family and they do all that stuff. They're like, but we gotta go buy Sister Meal's crib because you already knew what time it was. So yeah, so I've just always been around good food, and I think that's kind of how like my palate developed. Because one of the main things, with food is like being able to season it. You got to have that spice right. So yeah, I think that I've always been around it. So when I moved here in '08, I wanted to open a restaurant initially. Then I wanted to do like a Chicago style restaurant.
Okay.
And so I had done a whole business plan and all that stuff. But at the time, I was still really heavy into music. And I was like, well, am I ready to commit the amount of time it's going to take for me to really get the restaurant business and all that stuff off the ground? I was like, yeah, nah, I don't know if I want to do it right now. So I kind of put that on the back burner. And I said, well, I'll stick for music now, and I'll return to the culinary side of things later in life. So now is later in life. And so really, trying to make this thing happen, pushing and, making some moves. So see how I go.
So is that something that you want to do? Like, do you want to be like full-time chef or?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Well, not necessarily a full-time chef. That's part of the vision.
Okay.
But I just want to be able to make moves in the culinary space, whether it be restaurant, food truck, chef. I've done live cooking demos and stuff for organizations, for companies. Virtual cooking class. I did a lot of virtual cooking classes and stuff during the pandemic. Product lines, you know what I'm saying, like stuff like that. I just want to be able to really build my brand to a certain point and just be able to kind of capitalize and make moves off of my brand and my brand recognition. So, but yeah, being a chef, I love the cooking part of it, but man, that being in the kitchen, like all the hours, it's some hard work. But for me, it's about the process. Like I really want to learn all the jobs that impact what I'm trying to do in the culinary world.
Okay, so talk about the culinary world. So I know you started off in Atlanta, but I know you were in Wild for a little while too. So what was that transition like?
So yeah, so from Atlanta to New York. So finally, with the way we can talk about the TV show now. So Rat in the Kitchen. I got this DM from a lady about a year and a half ago, and it was just weird. You know how, especially like during the pandemic, you get a DM from like some random person like, yo, I saw your profile and this and this and
yeah, it's very weird.
And she was like, I'm from ITV studios and all this stuff, and I'm just like, okay, nah, I passed. I didn't even respond. So she hits me back up like a couple days later, and I'm like, okay, well, let me just throw out some generic information. Like give her like my zip code, but it's like one number off. It ain't really my zip code. Like I'm like, let me just do some stuff like that. So and then she followed up, and I was like, well, it looks like this might be something like for real. And so I went on and just gave them the information, followed up on it. Fast forward, ended up getting the call to be on the show, to audition for the show. Made the show, and when we shot Rat in the Kitchen, we shot it a year ago, and my episode just aired this past June 9th, like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And we shot it last year, June 18th. And so it just aired, but while on the show, one of the contestants that I competed against, he is from New York. He's an executive chef from New York. So we hit it off so well on the show that after the show, he came to me like right away. He was like, you know what? I like you. I respect you. I really like what you do. He was like, I'm getting ready to launch a new restaurant in New York, and I want you to be a part of my team. And I'm just like, whoa, like, because for me, I'm not classically trained. I'm really a self-taught chef. I'm not classically trained. And we were there with all these other people on the set, they've been, people have gone to culinary school. They got the background. They've trained in, France and all this. They got all this, French technique and all this stuff. And I was like, why me? But, why not? So it's just like, I was like, cool. He was like, I'll get in touch with you when it's time. And I was just like, okay, bet. So literally about 3 months later, I hadn't heard a whole lot from him. We just followed each other on IG, just little generic kind of, responding and commenting, stuff like that from here and there. And then he hit me up and called, and he texted me and he said, I have a job for a sous chef here in New York. Do you know somebody who would be interested in that? And I was like, yeah, me. You already know. But yeah, so
what's the sous chef like? So for people that don't know what that is, like what level of chef is that?
So sous chef is just below the executive chef. So the executive chef is really the one who you're eating his food when you come to the restaurant. Like he plans the whole menu out. It's mostly his ideas, his concepts, and all that. And even if you do come up with something as a sous chef, and the executive chef likes it, they can claim it as their own. At the end of the day, it's still his menu, right? At the end of the day, but the sous chef is basically like his second in command. And he's responsible for fulfilling the menu and making sure the kitchen runs and all that stuff in the absence of the executive chef.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you did it for how long? Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
So you said, just so we talked about the show, that episode. So you said you You were not classically trained, you said?
No, I am not.
So watching the episode, I would have known that.
Yeah.
Until you just said that. Because from watching the episode, it really looked like you know exactly what you were talking about. From the preparation to to everything.
Right. Yeah. I think that's one of the things that he was impressed by. I really am thankful to God. I'm gonna get a little churchy for a second. I'm thankful, you know, to God for like gracing me with the presence and the confidence to go on that type of platform and do it, because I really you know, humble brag, I really feel like I handled myself well on that platform. But he kind of saw that, and so it was just like, wow, you know, he came to me like right after, and it was just like really really rewarding, you know, just to feel that, and you really feel like you belong in that space. Because even above that, him coming to me like, you know, those who watch the show, like my dishes were some of the best dishes. My cooking was
I was gonna say your dishes was basically what saved them a couple of the rounds for sure.
It did. It really did.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really good, man. So yeah, but yeah, and that's what it was. So but for me, like I really, being a musician, you learn that like a lot of stuff. For me, I cook from here. I tell people that all the time. You gotta cook from here, you play from here, whatever, because there's a lot of, in the music world, I learned you have a lot of people that can read music, but they can't really play it from here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you don't, I know people literally, they're musicians that have played for over 20 years, but if you don't sit a sheet of music in front of them, for them to read, they can't play.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, and that's not how I learned. Even with music, I learned by ear. You know, I'm not classically trained in music either. So it's more of a feel thing, man. And you really just go with what you feel. You cook from the heart, play from the heart, you know, whatever. That's kind of what you do. And to me, you know, what comes from the heart connects to the heart, reaches the heart.
Right.
That's what really matters.
So do you want to do, I mean, since we talked about it, so do you want to do more TV? Like, I know I did, wasn't you on like Wheel of Fortune or something before, like some years ago? I feel like I remember that. So yeah, seems like TV.
Oh, he's got TV experience, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, so I did do Wheel of Fortune, right? And that's funny, because it's like I did Wheel of Fortune right before I moved to Atlanta in 2008.
It was a long time ago. Yeah.
It was 2008, March of 2008. I went out to Culver City and did the shoot for Wheel of Fortune at their studios, and then like the following, it was like April 7th, and 2008. And yeah, shot it, and I did good on Wheel of Fortune too. I killed it. Like and one thing I love about that, I used to sit up there at the foot of my grandmother's bed and watch that show every day. And you know, my grandmother, you know, first lady of the church, you know, she said, "Baby, when you get on there, God gonna bless you to get on there. You gonna win us a whole lot of money. You gonna do that." And we watched that show for years, man. And I kept on believing, you know, that I would get on there, and whenever the Wheelmobile would come through, they throw a little promotion. We're coming to Chicago. We'll be at Rosemont. We'll be at this. I was like, they're gonna be at Rosemont? Bet. So I ended up even work early one day and rolled up there, and it was crazy because they had like 5 sessions per day of auditions, and they only let like 25 people in per session. I literally made it there just in time for the last session of the weekend, because they did Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I got there Monday, and I made it in the last session. I was the 23rd person, like so literally only like 2 more people in after me. And I was able to get on stage, and did well, killed it, because they want, you know, personality. They want to know you have basic knowledge of how to play the show. You know, so my thing is, in situations like that, I try to think about the producers. What's their job? What's the product that they need to put up? You know what I mean? And how can I be that? And so, you know, to give myself the best chance to, you know, get on.
So do you think, so since you've done Rat in the Kitchen, have you seen like an increase in like your requests to like for you to be like private chef or come on TV or do things like that? How has that been post show?
I haven't seen a whole lot yet, and part of that is whenever I post, I get requests, right? I have people, you know, if I post food, I post anything about my culinary, you know, stuff, I automatically, you know, the next couple of days I start seeing DM messages, people inquiring. But one of the things they didn't let us really do on Rat in the Kitchen is like, you know, promote ourselves. So I couldn't put my IG, nowhere on the episode do you see, you know, follow me on IG. Right. Right. So people don't really know how to get in contact with you, how to reach you. You know, I tried, you know, but you know, when they edited all that stuff out, I was like, I did my holla at your boys, but
edit that out, huh?
Right, yeah, they didn't make the cut.
He was like, none of that.
There was like none of that. But you know, but I know some of it, you know, I'll, you know, eventually return on that. You know, sometimes it takes time because once you kind of get in that circle, again, the production studios and all that stuff, they need content just like we do. So they're always looking for people to kind of put in those positions. They got to create a season. They got to create the next episode. So, you know, it's just a matter of time.
So just staying with the episode, the Rat in the Kitchen. So I'm gonna be real with you. Me and my wife, we watched it, and that chick got on my nerves, Mike.
Elisa hates me, bro.
I couldn't wait to get you on the show. That chick got on my nerves, Mike. You're hard headed, bro.
I thought she was a rat for sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell y'all, like, and I think it messed me up because what it was, they had us quarantined again for like 10 days.
Okay.
We had to basically, it was like lockdown. We had to stay in our hotel room for 23 hours, could not leave. The only time we got to leave was for our break. They did go outside on the courtyard, like on the yard, like we was on lockdown.
Wow.
And we would stay out there for an hour. And we couldn't talk to the contestants or nothing. But every day on my break time, she was always out there on break with me. So we couldn't say a word to each other. They had a chaperone and everything. Right. But you know, I think I just kind of got tunnel visioned on her a little bit. And it just made me not pay attention to some of the obvious stuff that was just going on around me.
Yeah, because it threw me for a look when they revealed who the rat was. Like I didn't.
Knew. Nobody.
And my wife was like, "Who knew?" Like, and then when they showed you the recap of what he was doing, I'm like, "Wow, he really did sabotage everything."
Yeah. When I thought about it too, I thought it was Elisa at first, but then I didn't think it was what was his name? The guy who was actually the rat, like
Badam.
I didn't think it was him at first, but then when he had that uncooked chicken, I did have like my one good eye on him. I'm like, you know what? Now I know someone that's been cooking long enough to know like how to cook chicken and what temperature.
Right.
That's a little suspect because especially the one when he wanted to do it all by himself. So I was like, yeah, I don't know, but I definitely thought it was Elisa or the lady that she's actually a baker.
I'm talking about Mel.
Yeah, I thought it was her. She was so nice. I was like, she's trying too hard. So I was like, it's definitely her. She's trying, not like trying too hard to be nice, but I thought she was trying to like to not show that she was the rat. So I definitely thought it was one of those two, but we were all wrong.
We were all wrong.
All wrong. And I was just like, we all were really shocked. But like I said, some of the stuff just seemed pretty obvious. And then he laid low. Vadam like laid low the second round. He didn't really do.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So it really wasn't nothing for you to kind of pick up on. But I wish we had got it, man, because man, leaving out there with no money is just like, bro.
Yeah.
14 days, man.
But at least the rat didn't get that much either, right? Because I mean,
he got like 10 grand.
He got 10 grand.
I got a little fortune.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a nice little.
So Mike, do they give you guys a preview of what you're gonna cook before they start taping, or you don't know until they start taping?
Nah, they we had no idea, man.
Okay.
That's what happened like in the second challenge, which ended up being like a vegetarian challenge. Like I was ready to make shrimp and grits. You know, I was like, that's what we
stand by your grits.
Stand by my grits.
Stand by my grits.
I'm gonna make shrimp and grits, and you know, so I had Elisa to run in there, you know, to try to see if she could grab the shrimp or whatever. I'm like, yeah, get out of here, because I don't want you sabotaging us. And then she runs in there, and, you know, she comes back and she's like, there's no meats, there's no proteins. I'm just like, oh, you know, so we had no idea. But they prep you up. They try to throw you a curveball because they was like, this round you're gonna be able to cook whatever you want. Anything that's in the pantry is just like yeah, let's get it. So
I'm glad they had the subtitles because the executive chef, that guy, I can understand nothing he was saying.
You talking about Ludo? You talking about the judge, Ludo?
Yeah, I can understand nothing he was saying, bro.
It's running Ludo, man.
Yeah, he did. He has a thick accent.
Yeah, very, very thick. And they took some stuff out. We had a couple moments because I had said some stuff kind of through split jazz. He said something about what was he saying? It'll come to me in a second, but I kind of mocked him on something he said.
Oh wow.
No, he said cheddar. It was like he's talking like cheddar cheese.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, cheddar, and I was like, it was funny, but they cut a lot of little stuff out. You know, you can't control what ends up on the editing room floor, but
yeah.
So let me ask you this: so what's your go-to dish, right? So like someone, if you're trying to show off,
shrimp and grits,
shrimp and grits, really,
or
it's easy. But what? Give me another one.
To be. Let me see. I like doing pasta dishes. That steak, like I'll do a nice fillet in a second. Yeah, nice filet mignon. Simply seasoned with a little bit of kosher salt. Cracked black pepper, nice little garlic butter or something on it. Rosemary. That's I can go to that.
I love rosemary.
Me too.
It makes everything taste good. I don't know.
Sure does.
Except for peach cobbler, it don't do nothing for peach cobbler.
No,
Not at all. Yeah, so that's one of my go-tos. My butter pecan peach cobbler, people love that.
We've never had any, so we'll
take my word for it.
Yeah, we don't take. We want some.
So next time I come to Chicago, like I should be doing an event there sometime soon. So I'll make sure that y'all know
that
for sure.
Yeah, we need that. So okay, so do you have like a chef that that gives you like inspiration that you like kind of follow, or that
some of the chefs that I really like are there's a chef Brooke Williamson. I love Brooke, man. Like Brooke, she's this little just nice looking little white girl. Like she's super cool. She's but she's like a beast in the kitchen. Like I watch her on all the competition shows. Like she just taking everybody out. Like and then she does it with a smile. Like so you see all these big name chefs and stuff, and she just come through there like just killing everything, like out of Puff Girl or something. But yeah, no. So I like her. Marcus Samuelson, I really like him.
I feel like I've heard him before.
Yeah. I like Marcus Samuelson. I like the Voltaggio brothers. Both of those dudes are pretty dope. In Atlanta too, I will say this: Atlanta has a lot of dope chefs. There's a chef down here that I really like, Chef Scott. He has a spot down here called Continent. I love his cooking. I really respect him. He was on what is that show? Hell's Kitchen, that Gordon Ramsay show. I think he was on like the inaugural season of that show or something like that. But really respect what he does. But yeah, there's a lot of great chefs. I just kind of pick up stuff from people as I go. Oh, and Alice Gordon Shelley, she's one of my last ones. Oh, and Jeffrey Zakarian. Yeah, so all those.
Too much. That's good. I mean, so okay, so those are like different types of chefs. So what would you describe yourself as? Like, what type of chef would you say you are? Like
what type of my cuisine?
Yeah. What would you say?
My style is really all over the place. I just like making good food. Like it doesn't have to be any one thing. Because at the end of the day, when you sit that meal in front of them, they just want it to be good. That's all that matters. Like I tell people this all the time, like folks don't care so much about your backstory, about where you trained or where you studied or what degree you got or whatever. You got one shot. When you put that plate in front of them, is it good? Like that. That's pretty much all that matters. So I just strive for that. I'll make you the best peanut butter and jelly sandwich you ever had. Like seriously, like we had a like me and two friends of mine, we were talking about partnering, and we all said we'll bring 3 dishes to each bring 3 dishes. We'll cook them, we'll taste them, we'll see what we like, and we'll kind of move forward with that. One of the things that I did, which is one of my favorite things, a grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
I love peanut butter and jelly.
A grilled PB&J,
grilled though.
Grilled. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah. Never had a grill.
A grilled PB&J on some nice. I'm gonna tell you what type of bread, but you just get you some nice bread, grill that boy up like a nice little grilled cheese sandwich, and with the right type of peanut butter. Like we made some of everything that day. We made pasta dishes. We made gumbo. We made steaks. We did all that, and out of everything that we ate that day, it was like, but that PB&J though, like that was like
the fire.
Right, fire. Like, but because it just has to be good and it has to connect with people on a deeper level. Like something like that takes you back. It's nostalgic, right?
Mm-hmm.
It takes you back to childhood, and it's just like, oh man, it opens you up in other ways, you know, in your senses. It's it being some fine dining experience. You know, it kind of taps into something else.
So would you come back to Chicago to cook full time, or
would I move back to Chicago?
Yeah, like if you got the opportunity to open a restaurant here or to be an executive chef at one, because you know Chicago has a lot of good food. So,
is Lori still the mayor?
Yeah,
she's still the mayor.
Lori Mo.
Yeah, she's still the mayor.
Yeah, with that being the case, I'm gonna
no, it's a no for you, dog.
He said no. He said no.
I'm on a hard pass. Nah, but
you don't miss Chicago at all.
Miss the crib, like so, like crazy miss it. But I come back enough. Like I'm there like at least 5 times a year, at least.
Okay.
You know, I always try to come back for like my mom's birthday. I always try to come back at least around Thanksgiving or Christmas, at least once. We typically do something for my grandparents that I try to come back and make it for. And then I'll try to come like at least one time in the summer. So I'm always trying to get back home. I don't need a big reason, you know, to get back to Chicago.
Yeah.
You know, the slightest little bit. Like, I was almost there last week for the Hyde Park joint, the Hyde Park restaurant. Yeah, I almost came for that.
I heard it was real. I heard it was real.
Yeah, it was nice.
Everybody, I was out of town in Mexico, so I missed it. But everybody that I know that went, they said it was like the time of their life. So
yeah.
And let me tell you, like Busta, because Busta performed, right? Busta Rhymes, right?
Yeah, I've seen him a few times. He's dope.
Busta Rhymes was my first like secular concert that I ever attended, and it was I went to school at Tuskegee, and so we did our homecoming. I think it was 97 or 98. He did our homecoming, and when I was like,
yeah,
I'm like, this what this little church boy been missing all these years. I never been to a secular concert like Busta. Like, his energy is like up there. Like I put him up there with like, you know, guys like Charlie Wilson. Like Charlie Wilson gonna give you a live.
He sure does, man.
Yeah.
His performance, like he gonna give you a full
man.
Like, it was kind of one of those experiences, and I was just like, oh, okay, that's what's up.
Like, Busta, I've seen him like at least 3 times. Whether he was big Busta, little Busta, it was the same. Like his energy level is always like up there. He's just, he's pretty. I mean, he's pretty flawless. I mean, when it comes to his performance, like it's. Yeah, he still got it. Yeah, he still got it. So, all right, we're gonna switch gears a little bit because I know you like sports. You a sports head, but unfortunately, you're a Sox fan. So I don't even have to ask you if it's the.
No. Don't get it twisted. I got a cut.
You know. Okay, so what's your team?
You know what I am? I'm a Chicago fan. Oh. Chicago wins. Me too. I win. Whenever Chicago wins, I win.
Me too. But I'm probably favor the Cubs. Everyone knows that, but
yeah, I would have to probably do it for you. So when I was a kid though, that was my mom saying like she used to love like, you know, watching the Cubs back then. But you know, who Black Mama did? You know, Andre Dawson had him messed up, man.
Oh yeah, he had a hold on him.
He had him messed up, bro. They was tuning in. So
hold on him. Yeah,
every Black person rooted for Andre Dawson back in the day.
Yeah,
man.
Yes, they did.
So that's what it was. But yeah. So yeah, if I had decided, it would probably end up being the Cubs. But like I said, I'm a Chicago fan. Chicago wins, I win.
Okay.
See. So it's really Cubs. So okay, you're forgiven now.
He didn't say that, though, Tease. He really didn't say that.
He did just say that. He said if he had to pick, he said, did you not just say you picked the Cubs?
Yeah, I mean, if I had to pick a side.
See,
I'm also the person.
You got numbered.
I'm also the person that's gonna go to Harold's or Uncle Remus. I don't care. Just bring it. Don't matter to me.
Do both too.
Yeah.
I can do both too.
As long as it's, as long as that mild sauce is on there, I'm good.
Definitely. So okay, so I'm assuming that of course you watched the finals then, right? So who was your team? Who was your team before? Was it always the Warriors or did you have Boston?
So which side had the most light-skinned people?
Definitely the Warriors.
Yeah, Team Light Skin had a big weekend.
Team Light Skin, you know what I'm saying? So I've been rocking with the Warriors for a minute, man. Since they started to like emerge, like in 2013, 14.
Mhm.
Like I've been really kind of rocking with them. Just because I think from Chicago, there's a lot of Chicago fans that are like Warrior fans.
Mhm.
You know, a lot of Chicago people that are Warriors fans because we just like winners, man. I think we like winners and we like kind of like the underdog story because that's kind of like how Mike came up. Like the Bulls were off the map, man. Like nobody was checking for the Chicago Bulls, like at all. And so we built that way. We built through the draft. Our stuff came organically, and I think we kind of relate to that with the Warriors because that's how they, that's kind of how it happened for them. So yeah, the Warriors were my team all day. Yeah, like hands down.
I think people watch the Warriors too, probably back in the day when Tim Hardaway, when he was there too. I know he's another Chicago native, so I think people were watching for him too. I watched the Warriors obviously for obvious reasons because they drafted Chris Webber, who was my favorite player. So that's when I first started watching the Warriors.
Me in this story all my life.
I'm just being honest. So whatever, but so you had the Warriors. Yeah, I had the Warriors. Bro, did I say the Warriors of Boston? I think I said Boston in 7.
You taking Boston. If you're not a Warriors fan, you probably definitely took Boston because everybody was saying that Boston was going to, do whatever. They were going to be this, they're going to be that. I'm like, nah, bro.
Yeah, they definitely jagged.
Yeah.
Big time. Big time. Like big time. Yeah, I thought they was going to go to 7 at least, but nope. Warriors was like, we are going to be off on Sunday. We're not getting play.
We're not coming back. Yeah, I had to tell some of my friends in our sports group. I'm like, yeah, they will have a game 7 on Father's Day. I said, man, forget a game 7 on Father's Day. Like, nah,
yeah,
it's gonna be none of that. But I think one of the things that people forget about the Warriors is like Draymond said, they've never been beaten in the finals when they've been whole. Like that's facts. So they've been to 6 of the last 8 finals, and then a lot of people try to credit Kevin Durant for some of that success that they had in the middle. But you gotta remember the year that Kevin Durant got injured, he got injured in the second round against the Houston Rockets, who many people said the Houston Rockets would have beat the Warriors the year before. They pushed them to 7 games, and it was like, well, the Rockets, if CP3 had never got hurt, then the Rockets would have beat Golden State. People said it. Okay, so now let's fast forward to a year later. Now it's 2018. 2019. And now CP3 is healthy. Y'all got, James Harden and everything. And now KD is injured. Which y'all gonna do? Steph went on and closed them boys out. Like
the Rockets jagged.
Right. It's like y'all said y'all could have beat them if CP3 wasn't. He's healthy. What happened? And so the Warriors closed their round out, and then the Warriors went and swept the Blazers. So really, the Warriors
they just need to just stop going to the playoffs.
Look, after Kevin Durant got injured, they essentially did not lose another game until the finals when Klay got injured. Like Klay missed, I think, game 2 or game 3. And that's when Looney had a broken or a sprained collarbone or something. That's when they started to lose. But they completed the next 2 rounds and didn't lose. And so that's what people got to remember. It's like, you really think, the fact that people really believe that a 73 win team needed a Kevin Durant is ridiculous to me. You didn't need a Kevin Durant. You lost a series. You got, epic failure, but you didn't need a Kevin Durant.
I think Mike, only LeBron fans started that narrative that they needed Kevin Durant to beat LeBron and the Cavs. Because I agree with you. I don't think they needed Kevin Durant.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
You just needed Harrison Barnes to just, give you 15 points. That's all.
Right. You're right. You're exactly right. That's what they needed. Like what Andrew Wiggins gave them.
Right.
If Harrison Barnes would have did that year, they might have won.
Yeah. It had been a wrap. So but that's the thing, man. So I'm happy for Steph for finally getting his finals MVP. Robbed.
Did y'all see Klay fall today?
Klay fell. Oh, on the stage doing the parade?
He fell?
Yeah.
Klay be lit.
He was
Klay be lit.
He fell like running to, I don't know if he
ran into a lady, right? I saw that.
Yeah, he knocked her down.
Oh man, late Klay.
Yeah. Klay was on.
Somebody might have sent me that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, yeah, y'all gotta watch that. That
Boy,
was
be lit, man.
that was hilarious. And Steve Kerr, he was like, he's like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm still hungover. Like he was drunk too. Yeah, the whole team was drunk. So
drunk.
congrats to the Warriors.
Yeah,
All you Warrior fans.
Yeah, they are definitely my squad. And if there's any LeBron fans on here, I definitely hate LeBron. But Steph is up there now. So Steph is up there, with 4 rings, just like LeBron. So it's gonna be real interesting if Steph get another one next year. It's gonna get, because you can't say that LeBron dominated this era if somebody got more rings than him in the same era.
So we talked about that last week. So we was gonna say, do you think that this win like solidifies like stuff like that puts him a little bit higher than he was before this past finals, or what do you think?
For sure, I just think that because Steph doesn't have the bravado like a lot of people, like Steph ain't all up in your face. He ain't always beating on his chest. He ain't doing all that. I think because he's like really unassuming, I think that's how the media handles his career as well. Yeah. Steph has done a lot, this year. If you look at his accomplishments this year, when the season first started, he was leading. He was leading in the MVP race. He was number 1 in the MVP race. He got injured, that changed. But then he went on to win All-Star Game MVP. He won Western Conference Finals MVP. He broke the all-time three-point record, taking that from Ray Allen. Now he won a championship and Finals MVP. On top of that, he got a degree from Davidson. He finally finished his degree. Like, your boy had a year.
Yeah.
So it's like, when you really start to talk about the face of the MVP, of the NBA, it's like this man was the most valuable player in just about everything.
Everything.
He's the face. Like that's it's really his league, but because he doesn't use media. Here's one thing. I do hate LeBron, but I respect the way he uses media. the man manipulates the hell out of media. And I love it. Like he does. I tell a lot of people, and people don't really understand it. I say in a lot of ways, he's like Donald Trump.
Donald Trump, that's an interesting comparison.
I get it. I get what he said. Go ahead.
In the way that he manipulates the media.
I get it.
He understands that his followers are going to run with whatever narrative he creates. And because he knows that, he has to continually put the narrative out there to give himself the credibility with his people to make it seem like he's something that he's not. Like, like when Trump had his inauguration, and he was like, I had more people at my inauguration than Obama. Y'all remember that? And then they put a side-by-side picture of the mall, and it was just and Trump was still on some, but nah, trust me, like there were more people at mine. Like that's how I see LeBron, like saying that you're the GOAT over Michael Jordan. And you say when you won in 2016, that made you the GOAT over Jordan. You said that 3 years removed from that. He said it in like 2019. But at the end of 2016, after they beat the Warriors, that's when LeBron said, oh, I'm still chasing the ghost of Michael Jordan. Yeah. You remember that quote? He said that after they beat the Warriors. He said that, and then fast forward 3 years, now you want to do some revisionist history and say, well, no, what I did in 2016 made me the GOAT. That made me, I'm chasing Jordan after that.
He said that on the show, on that, exactly. on the
stuff. Right, so he's putting that out because he knows that the people that follow him, that hear it, that's the narrative they're going to run with. Yeah. And he really put himself in that debate against Jordan, because immediately all the media started catapulting him past Kareem, past Magic, past all these other, and past Kobe. That's like, it's just like, well, when did he pass those people? Like, it was narrative. He created.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. So when LeBron was playing the Bulls, obviously I hated him. I think I like him more now in his later years because of probably more so of his philanthropy stuff that he does. I still don't want him to, beat my sorry Bulls, but yeah. I don't hate him. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying 100%.
Philanthropy, the schools, all that, love that stuff. Yeah. All that any issue I have with LeBron is basketball related. You know what I mean? And some of it does fall along the lines of integrity too. Like, because, if you say that you're a voice for Black people and you want to be, this person that stands up, for people in certain situations. I didn't like 2020 when they went back and did the bubble. Remember when they went back into the bubble to resume games? We were in the middle of a worldwide pandemic. We were at the end of the George Floyd situation. We weren't even like 2 months removed from George Floyd. People were still protesting, Black Lives Matter movement, all that stuff was going on. And they went back and started playing basketball.
So you think they should have just bypassed the season?
I do. But especially for someone like LeBron James, who has publicly come out and tried to be and say, I'm this voice and that I'm this activist and I'm all these things. To me, it seemed like in that moment, he chose chasing a title over something else, that was, I think, was more important. Because that same year, there was a young girl that was killed in Akron, in LeBron's hometown.
I remember that with the where I think the cop, he shot her like within like 15 seconds or something.
It was yeah. And that's your hometown. Like there was no visit there. There was no feet on the ground with LeBron.
Maybe could it be that we just didn't see it though? Just playing devil's advocate. Maybe he had some stuff behind.
Anything LeBron does, you're gonna see that PR team. They're gonna make sure you know that he did it. Like that's another thing I respect. His team is gonna make sure that you know that LeBron was involved with this. But at that time, I think that they were just pushing the the More Than a Vote campaign. So they were pushing his campaign. That was kind of their way of being activists at that time. But other athletes like Giannis, Steph, Clay, Russell Westbrook, Damian Lillard, players, they had feet on the ground. Like they were out there marching, they were out there doing that, they were giving speeches, they were at rallies. And so I was a little bit disappointed that LeBron wasn't on that wave.
Well, this is definitely going to rile up the comments with the LeBron fans. But you know what, Mike? I love it. I think this is great.
We know a lot of them.
This is great.
Yeah, we know a lot of them. So, okay, so do you still follow the Bulls?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. I know we had a rough
look, I was so hopeful this year. I was like, I'm gonna get a Warriors Bulls final. And I got Bulls in 6. Like that's where I was at with it. Like I'm like, because when they play each other, like the Warriors are my adopted team. But when they play the Bulls, it's Bulls all day. It's nothing to talk about. Like
the way you live in that too, like in Atlanta, it's hard. Even though like Atlanta has like they have football, basketball, and baseball, but it's like because there's so many people that are not from Atlanta in Atlanta, that fan base is just like
all over the place.
It's kind of like kind of sorry.
It's funny because it's the one city that when you go to the games, you have more fans from the opposing team.
Yeah, all the time.
In the arena.
All the time.
Like I go when the Bulls come to Phillips and play, it looks straight like you in Chicago. Chicago jerseys everywhere.
That's what I heard. I was going to ask you, was that true when the Lakers come to Atlanta? There's so many Lakers fans in that place.
Yeah, it is. Like that's how it is. Like especially if it's from a city with a big fan base like your LA, the New York market, the Knicks and stuff like that. The Bulls, it looks like it's red and white, man. Well, the Hawks colors are red, so that don't really work. But Bulls jerseys be everywhere, like at those games. But I think it's like that with basketball. Now in Atlanta, they're a little bit more football. They're definitely football fans.
For sure.
In the South, like
most of the football fans are probably a little more deeper than anything.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like when I went to college, just not realize how much people in the South are into football.
Yeah,
they really, especially on the collegiate level. Like that's like their stuff, man. Like for real. So, when football is a little bit different, I would probably say football, baseball, and then basketball is like down here.
Mostly everybody say who's from Atlanta, they say the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Basketball is at the bottom in terms of interest.
Probably strippers, football, then.
for me, when I'm
really going on in Atlanta.
Yeah, for me, when I visit Atlanta, is the Wings strip club, then basketball. That's
the Wings in the strip club.
The Wings and the strippers.
The Wings at the strip club. Which strip club is your favorite that you've been to?
Strokers.
Strokers?
As we going crazy.
Did you go to Onyx while you were here?
I've been to Onyx once, and I've been.
You've been to Follies?
Which one is it?
I've been to Follies once.
That's Follies down, bro. They took the sign away and everything.
Oh,
it's a wrap.
We need a moment of silence later on for that. Damn, man.
Wait, so which one is the hood strippers? Because that's what Moses like. He liked the ratchets. So which one got the ratchets?
Which one ain't got the ratchets?
Which one ain't? Because Strokers was hood.
They all a little ratchet. You gotta be ratchet down here in Atlanta to really,
That's
Mike, I didn't like Magic City. I was unimpressed.
I can see that.
What was unimpressive about it, bro?
Well, for one, because when I first went, you know, back in the day, you know, the music videos, the video vixens, that was huge. So all the videos, there's a lot of videos being shot at Magic City. So I couldn't wait to go. So when I went, I'm like, okay, these strippers don't look all that, and it didn't get that vibe that I was looking for. But when I went to Strokers, I got that vibe. I got that hood vibe. People throwing money up, Hennessy going everywhere.
Oh gosh.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's what that was your thing.
Yeah, that's what I love.
And Blue Flame, I got somebody just commented Blue Flame. How do I comment in this thing? Look, y'all help me. I'm feeling like somebody granddad.
I don't know if you can comment, but yeah, you can. Do you see like so in it? Do you see where you say post a comment?
Nope.
Do you see it? No. Maybe it's just maybe only I can do that.
I can just look.
I'm sorry.
No, we good.
Somebody popped up with a comment I saw. They said Onyx. They did say Onyx.
Yeah, she said Onyx and Blue Flame.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. I've been to Atlanta a few times, but I've never been to the strip club there. But
yeah, and people gotta understand too. Like for some people that haven't been like to a strip club before, like y'all gotta understand like a strip club ain't just about you being like lustful and trying to go up in there and get some woman to put her privates on you and slap. Like you really could just go in there, just listen to good music, have some really good wings, like the best wings ever of your life.
Thank you.
And keep your little money in your pocket. You ain't even gotta have,
get your mind right.
If you want to do all that, you can get it how you live. That's all I'm saying. Like if you
it's a good mental spot for a man. You get your mind right.
Yeah, I would say probably for a man, I can imagine.
Shoot some pool, with your homie. They got all types of stuff.
They got pool there too.
Yeah, they got pool tables and a lot of them.
Well, that's how when I walked in the Strokers, it's crazy. First of all, when we walk in, I see tall Dominique Wilkins coming out. He's coming out.
Oh wow.
We say what's up to him. The people I was with, they really didn't know who he was.
Right.
So
Hope his wife isn't watching this.
When we walked in, I see pool tables. But on the pool tables, I see the women completely naked, bent over shooting pool. I told my friend, I looked behind him, I said, we're not leaving till it's closed. We're not leaving till it's closed. I told him, we're not leaving.
That's hilarious.
That was one of the best times of my life there. I'll never forget.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's a good time. I've gone with mixed crowds. I've gone with women and men,
I know ladies that like the strip club. I said I know women that like the strip club, so it's just
So I mean, it's not. I think you have to take your mind away from, I guess, what people see as like the lustful part of it. Because honestly, I go into, I don't like, my mind isn't even there because I already know that those girls are there to sell you a dream.
Right.
So I'm from the West Side of Chicago. You ain't finna sell me nothing that I'm not in the market for. You ain't finna get me to believe none of this. Yeah, so
nobody gonna believe it.
Oh yeah. Oh, Eddie believe
it. Eddie give her that money.
Oh, Eddie.
but a lot of people also, like go in there, and I it's a shame, like just to be wasteful, like with money. Like, dude, excuse me, I've seen people literally spend like 15, 20 grand. Like I've seen it, like come in with a backpack full of money.
That's crazy.
And leave with none of it. And I'm just like, wow, like
that's crazy.
It's definitely in the wrong profession.
Yeah, Tease, you are.
I know, like I missed my calling.
Hey, they got strip clubs for 40 and over. Go ahead, go jump in.
Yeah, no, my knees is not. I do not have Megan knees. Those days behind me.
You ain't got the knees no more.
I got the knees no more.
You got a little bounce and wiggle. They might do a little something.
Spray some Novocaine on them. You'll be all right, man.
To help them through the game. I'm gonna have to get some of those.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
What is, I forgot what they call, but they get in them little shots before those little pain.
Cortisone.
Yeah. I need some cortisone shots.
Shoot them in the knees.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Mike. So normally what we'll do when we end the show, we'll ask like our guests like a top 5 or something, right? So it could be top 5, rappers, top 5, NBA players, whatever. But since you're a musician, we're gonna keep it music, right?
Yeah.
So let us know top 5 dead or alive, your top 5 R&B singers.
Top 5 R&B singers. Man. Okay, I want to throw, like, of now, one of my favorite Oh man, I love a lot of these young artists now. I'll keep it with current. I ain't gonna go back to dead or past. I'll talk about this current generation, like people who
Okay.
are really feeling right now. I like Love Her. A
I
whole
love her too. Yeah.
her is so dope.
Mhm.
Jasmine Sullivan is all types of problems.
Yes, man, for sure.
She is
For
all types
sure.
of problems. I like Lucky Day a whole
I
lot.
love Lucky
Okay.
Day. Oh, yeah.
I think for me, Joe is probably my favorite all-time male R&B vocalist.
Mhm. He's
Just
so cool.
yeah, he's it's the smoothness. Like Joe is
He
just
feel like that. Yeah. Yeah.
like Joe is so smooth. I threw Lucky Day up in there, and who else do I want to say? There's somebody that I don't want to miss, but I gave y'all 4, gave y'all 2 guys, 2 girls.
Everybody always gets stuck at 5.
Yeah, it's tough because you gotta get somebody in there, But for the I'm gonna do Tank for his great contributions to my playlist.
Oh, yeah.
to the playlist,
The
Right,
playlist.
right. The playlist, right.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna throw Tank in there, and Tank Tank. Yeah, his vocals are like amazing too, but his background, man, I heard Tank. I was here back in I think like 2001 during the internship. I think it was back then. And I saw him at this like for Sisters Only thing. It was like a big old like at the convention center joint. His background singers back then was
Yeah.
blazing,
Yeah.
like killing. But yeah, there go some of mine. That's for now. I mean, if you go back, then you get talking about like Prince and Luther and Marvin and all that.
Little Luther, Big Luther.
Huh?
Yeah, it's a difference.
Little Luther or Big Luther?
I almost said something. Yeah. So Big Luther. Gotta go.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotta go.
Everybody go with Big Luther. Yeah.
You got to.
Big Jerry Curl Luther.
Yep. They had so many struggle curls back in the day. Like this.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I had one too.
You had a struggle curl?
I definitely had a struggle curl. I would never. All those pictures. I tell people all the time. If you got a picture of me with my struggle curl and you post it, I promise you we're never gonna be friends again.
Ever again, huh?
Ever. Like burn all those struggle curl pictures. Like yeah.
Oh,
I don't know why. Yeah, it's just really bad.
Hey Mike, one of the listeners posted a question for you.
No
Brandy.
Yeah, that's my girl Terry. That's what I was about to say. Like so, Terry. So here's what I want to say. I like Brandy because Brandy, that Full Moon album was like
the best. It's top 5.
It was revolutionary. It was revolutionary in like the R&B game for female singers. I think every female singer just about that came after that in R&B took something from that album. Like that was like Michael Jackson level. You know what I'm saying? In terms of influence.
Okay.
To me. So I definitely will put Brandy up there. So if we go straight female vocalists, like I have different for like different reasons. If we're just talking female vocalists, I got Brandy in there, I got Jasmine Sullivan in there, I got Layla Hathaway, I got Kimberly Girl, and I got her. Like those are like if we start talking about just vocalists. And it's all for different reasons. Did I say Beyonce?
No.
Okay. A lot of people don't like Beyonce, but his was underrated about Beyonce. She ain't got like the tone or the soul like some of these other artists, but her proficiency, like her proficiency live, like Beyonce hits notes.
Yes, she does. On all, I don't know the terms, but all registers, I guess. Like get like really low. Her range is insane. Is insane rather
live. Yeah, for me, live Beyonce nails it. Like live. So if we get talking about that, Brandy is definitely up there, but I feel like almost for me, Brandy, it's like Jasmine is kind of like taking the Brandy mantle to me a little.
It's hard to say, but
Yeah, because I feel like and I posted this a little while back, like that Hotels record.
Yes.
Yeah.
that record is like classic. Like, and when she won, really Grammy, right? She got a Grammy for it, right?
Yeah, she did.
Yep, she did. She won.
Her first one, I believe.
Yeah. So I had posted that before the Grammy even happened when I was just listening to it. And I'm like, how does this girl manage to change some to take some host stuff
and make it sound good.
And make it into like art. Like it was like the songs when you listen to it lyrically Then how she's conveying the messages, how she's singing it, like the place, you can tell it's coming from a real place.
A real place.
Her and bro, like that's like a masterpiece, man.
That album is phenomenal. That's one of the albums I listen to
that.
all the way through.
Yeah.
I still listen to it.
It's a masterpiece.
Yeah. So okay, well, before we wrap it up, Mike, so where can people find you? Like, I know you have your IG right there, but do you accept like outside, like if someone wants to hire you and stuff like that, how do they go about doing that?
Yeah, so honestly, right now, because I do still work 9 to 5.
I do everything, y'all. He draws, he plays,
everything.
I'm designing buildings during the day. That's my day job.
Yeah.
And then, but no, like I take gigs anywhere. Like, so if people want to book me, I literally book probably 80% of my business through Instagram. Honestly.
Okay.
So it's as simple as a DM. You can hit me. Like I said, my IG is _Mike Made It. And yeah, people can reach me there. I travel. I've gone to last place I was in Dallas a couple months ago. So I went and did a birthday party down in Dallas. I've done Miami. I've done a few other places. So yeah, Chicago, obviously. Yeah, so I mean, Birmingham. What is that other city? I go anywhere. I mean, anywhere that somebody's willing to pay me to come.
Yeah,
I'll go.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah. So, and I'll make it happen. I'll give you some amazing food and amazing experience and amazing time. Because to me, it's about the experience too. I try to go above and beyond just cooking good food, but also try to make it an experience. You got to make it special in some way.
Got a shout out from
Mark.
What up, Brody?
And I want to go back and shout out everybody that was coming before that I missed y'all. Sorry. What's up to my brother James and our good brother Aman? He has a podcast too, Corner Convo podcast. So check them out. My sister, I see my sister Marsh up there. Terry, we thank y'all for commenting. Anybody else who I see comment. I love y'all. Thank y'all. But anyway, I'm sorry.
Somebody hit me up on my phone saying, come to LA. I'm like, I want to.
Yeah, make it happen.
LA, I feel like LA, well, they have a lot of when I'm with LA, I just didn't have fun. I don't know. It was just I don't know. It wasn't, I couldn't find the black people. I don't know. I was looking for black people, could not find them. I mean, like, I know, right? I mean, like, I'm always around like all different races, but I was like, well, where are the black clubs? And they kept sending me to like, the uns clubs. Like, I'm like, I don't want to hear it. Yeah, I don't want to hear nothing against 96.3, but
clubs.
No, I just was like, where are the black people? But I could not find anything like. Which is weird because on Insecure, like Issa has all the black spots. So I went pre-Insecure. So maybe if I go now, I can find the black stuff now.
You'll find it now.
Yeah, since
I definitely went by her apartment. Everybody goes by there now, right?
Everybody does.
Dunes, what's it called? Yeah, I went by there in front of that.
Yeah.
But nah, yeah, when you walk into the club, you hear that, oh, sometimes you really want to turn around and just leave out. This ain't the club I want to be at.
Yeah. And I can listen to that sometimes, but I'm just like, no, I did not come out of town to hear that. Nope. I need to hear a little bit of little ratchet.
Yeah, Teach, you like ratchet. Come on.
I do.
When y'all coming down here to Atlanta, anytime, or if you come down here to Atlanta, I'm gonna take you to, Blue Flame or whatever.
For sure. Yeah, we're gonna make that.
She's gonna have wings.
Yeah, and then we can pie live down there too.
Bet.
Well, we'll make it. We'll make it a thing.
How long have y'all been doing the pod?
So
it's 10 months.
Yeah, 10 months. So in August it'll be a year.
It'll be a year in August.
Nice.
Yeah.
How has it been? How has the experience been for y'all?
Honestly, it's so the talking part is easy, right? Like getting on here talking to you, that part is the easy part. It's the preparation, it's the trying to keep people engaged, to coming up with the topics, the promotion, and it's just us. We don't have no team, we're out of team. So it's hard to try to keep up with your social media, work your 9 to 5 and do everything else you got to do, and keep the content, to interesting for people. So
Mhm.
we it's rough, but you know what? It's even if it's a low week where it's not a lot of views, a lot of listeners, it's always every week at least one person hit me or hit Mo and be like, I like this. I love the show. This part, you know what I'm saying? So it's encouraging to know that somebody is listening. You know what I'm saying? So but yeah, it's up and down, but we love it. It's easy because it's my brother. I've known him over half my life, so it's
Mhm.
we can talk about everything. But yeah, it's coming along. It's coming along.
Nice. And what do you? I'm saying, Coach Mo. What do you coach?
I coach high school basketball at Fenwick. I'm the boys sophomore coach.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Good stuff. So we got to talk a little hoop. So that's good.
Yeah. So you where did you graduate? Lane Tech too?
I graduated from Sous actually. Right.
You wish she went to.
I graduated from Gordon Tech.
Okay, nice. Okay, so we all,
we all on Addison.
Right, you right. You right there in the middle. You right there in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, man? That's crazy.
Yeah.
All y'all want to be Lane Tech, but
oh god.
Lane, I did try to get into Lane. I can't even flex, but they didn't want me. So because I started at Orr, I did my first 2 years at Orr.
Okay.
You was in the hood school.
Yeah.
Where you grow up at on the west side, Mike? Where you
actually I grew up kind of over there, like off of like Monroe and like Sacramento, kind of like over that area.
Yeah, okay.
Like I went to Willa Cather Elementary School.
Everybody went to Willa Cather, yeah.
Yeah, I went there and we used to go to Al's over there.
Yeah, yes.
Run across.
Had your car stinking for at least a week.
Al's still good too.
I used to sit over there on recess, like go get me a polish side.
We used to go before church all the time.
Before church.
Yep. So we kind of grew up over there until I reached like high school age. We moved out to the south suburbs for a minute. And then we moved back over like K-Town, like that area.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And so that's how I ended up at Orr.
Yeah, Mike from the land. He's from the land.
Yeah. He's certified West Side.
Yeah, he's from the land.
Not Naperville. Like I was suburb.
Because Corey hate people be like, if from Chicago, they really was born like
you really was born
Maywood or Robbins or something like that.
You weren't from the land. You ain't from the land.
No, he definitely from the land for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, but it's all good, man. I love it. Like, love the crib. I miss the crib. I'll be ready to get back as soon as I can. You know, one fun thing about Chicago that I kind of hate though about us. A lot of Chicago people are so close-minded. Like,
what way?
An example.
I'll give you a perfect example.
Okay.
Any of my Chicago friends that come down here to visit me in Atlanta, they want to come and visit me in Atlanta, but they want to try to find Chicago stuff to do.
I got you. Yeah.
Like they come down here and they be like, "Yo, I heard y'all got a Harold's down here." I was like,
"No, I don't want to come to Atlanta to get Chicago Harold's."
Like my guy and it's overpriced in the mug. Like, but my guy was down here this weekend. I was like, "Oh, what y'all on tonight? What y'all trying to do?" He was like, he asked me about some spots. I said, "I can go here, or there." And he was like, "Okay, bet." I was like, "So we all decided to go." Oh man, we went to a Chicago pizza bar. Okay, bro. Like, hopefully y'all enjoy. And they went like 2 nights in a row. Well, they said it was lit over there last night.
Oh wow,
it was cool. It was lit over there last night. Like, okay, try somewhere else like tonight. But it's like we kind of love what we love. I think we're comfortable with our culture and our city and stuff. And so we kind of even a lot of friends that I knew that and family members that like, I'm gonna move to Atlanta. I had my brother move here to Atlanta. He's like, man, I gotta get away from Chicago. He couldn't stay no more than a year. I had another friend that's on this chat, that's on this live right now. He tried to move down to Atlanta for a minute. I don't think he stayed more than like 6 or 7 months.
I know who that friend is.
He got up out of there, huh? He got up out of there.
I was like, bro. But yeah, no, I mean, it is what it is. Chicago is one of the greatest cities in the world, so I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
I think I want to move. I don't know, like when or where, but like I don't know, like Illinois, it's just too expensive for no reason to me. And
let me tell you,
I don't have any kids, so it's like there's nothing keeping me here. You know what I'm saying? So
let me tell you though, like, and don't come down to Atlanta looking for no.
I don't want to.
Let me tell you something.
Atlanta is not on my list.
I was about to say, because I was looking at apartments. Atlanta is ridiculous on the cost of living right now.
Yeah,
I was looking at apartments earlier. Like literally, I saw a 3-bedroom apartment for like $4,000.
Wow. See, that's like those like
Atlanta?
Yeah,
Atlanta, bro. It ain't. This ain't that. This ain't what you think. No more. Like Atlanta one, like in the city of Atlanta, like in the metro area, you're talking about like 1-bedroom apartments and studios starting off at like 15, 16.
Yeah. I read that recently that Atlanta
is
like the cost of living is like 4 times higher than it was. I forgot the time frame, but they was it's
we experienced some of the highest one of the highest rates of inflation in the country.
Yeah.
And it's being driven by like people who are like investors from outside.
That's what they said too. Yeah.
They're
investing. Why they put that limit on the Airbnb? Is that why they did that?
I saw that.
Yeah, they did that too, because right now they got it to where you can only own up to 2 Airbnbs and then one of them has to be your primary residence.
Yeah, you have to live in one of them.
But they're doing that because it's and it's crazy because before I bought my townhome, I had went to an auction and because there was a place I really, really wanted and I had a bid in on it, lost it. And so I went to the auction just to see, because whoever they went with, their deal fell through. So it ended up going to auction. Anyway, I said, let me go to this auction, see how much it goes for. While I'm there at the auction, I noticed that these same 4 group of people were buying up everything. Anything that came up that was worth having, that was worth buying, they bought it. So they were representing these hedge fund, owners and stuff like that don't even live in the US. I want to talk to them. I'm like, why? I'm like, y'all are buying up everything. Cause I was like, well, I want to make you guys an offer on that one place. I'm like, cause I've been approved for so much. And they're like, nah, we're not going to sell it for that. We're going to sell it for a lot more. And I was like, you know what? Cause this was like 2013 going into 14 when the market was still not quite back. But anyway, so I found out from that experience, like, they're buying up everything, man.
Yeah.
And, so it just makes it hard and they're kind of pushing the price up. But then also the transplants from places like New York, LA, San Francisco, places with a higher cost of living, they're moving here as well because since the pandemic, so many more people are working remotely.
Right.
So now they can, for a person from that lives in LA, they come down here, they see a $600,000 house, they were like, 600? Yeah, right. Like that's cheap to them.
Cheap
right.
To them.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of pushing the market up, man. It's crazy.
I need you to, but before we go, I need you to help the people, Mike, that's in Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah, when y'all get that little bit of snow, like y'all got to stop acting like y'all about to die down there because because even like we have like my coworkers that they live in Georgia and they act like they can't do nothing when it like snows. And I'm like, you know how much snow we get up here? Like seriously, like it's not. I mean, and I understand y'all don't have like salt trucks and things like that prepares the road, but it's like if you can still see the ground, I feel like you guys can drive on it. Like it's not that bad. Like, tell your people down there to relax, okay?
So one of the things I make a little bit light of, but it did get tragic because like some people, like a lot of people died like on one of them storms.
Really?
Yeah, like legit, because there was one of the first, I think it was the first one that happened when I was down here. Like people were stranded like on the E-way, like their cars.
That bad one. I know what you're talking about.
Like they couldn't go anywhere. So some people ended up sleeping in their cars overnight. And some people were outside or whatever. I heard, there were reports that people like froze to death.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, it's a problem more so of like infrastructure. So Chicago, like we have the infrastructure, we have the vehicles, we have all that stuff already set. We know what to do.
Yeah.
When it happens.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like deep snow. It was like that, like 1.5 inches or 2 inches of snow.
Yeah.
But then that junk melts and it becomes black ice.
Yeah.
And so Chicago,
y'all just stay at home. Don't when y'all see it coming, just stay at home.
But Chicago, as soon as we know we're gonna have a snow, the salt trucks are out there, and then the plow trucks are out there. So they're keeping the roads clean. Atlanta doesn't have that type of equipment on hand.
They're gonna have to start because
they had to borrow from they literally had to borrow from other states. Like they had trucks come from Alabama and stuff like that, to help, clear away some of the snow. But yeah, because they don't have it, and so because of that, they weren't prepared, and it just kind of caught them off guard. But
y'all been getting caught off guard like too many times. Like they gotta like at this point, I think everybody should know. Like, okay, even in Texas too, the same thing where it's less like, okay, one time I understand y'all wasn't expecting, but y'all need to start preparing for this snow because global warming is real. Whether people think it's not, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's warmer everywhere. It's just the climate changes, and so the areas where, like in the South, where you may not have gotten snow before, you're gonna start getting it. So y'all better start preparing, now for at least a little bit snow because it's coming. So
yeah, they got to do that. But I think they're a little bit better now. I mean, we'll see. But literally, I was rolling. I had an Acura MDX back then, and I was just riding. I was looking at people like it was crazy. I saw an 18-wheeler sliding back down
crazy
the off ramp like because he couldn't get up, and I was just like, and I was just riding like I was doing my regular look.
You from the crib?
Yeah, I was doing 20 to 25, trying to not to make no sudden stops.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not about to stop at this green light that's turning yellow. I'm not braking at all. I'm
right at all. I'm going right through.
Right.
Not getting stuck, bro. Like so, like I made it home that night, man. But we had a flood. We had a crazy flood when I first moved here. I think it was 2009. And it was right near my house, and I live right near Six Flags. To tell y'all, you wouldn't believe it unless I showed you the pictures, and you could probably Google it. But the flood was so bad that some of the roller coasters at Six Flags were halfway submerged underwater.
That's crazy.
So imagine driving past Six Flags, imagine driving past Great America, and you go past American Eagle, and that boy like sitting like half.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Water.
Yeah, that's good. I can't imagine that.
That's nuts. I know. I can't imagine that.
But it's crazy because it's kind of how they built it, like the terrain of where they put certain roller coasters. It's kind of like on a lower level. But yeah, that joint was like it's a roller coaster that actually looks just like a smaller version of the American Eagle. Like that joint was like halfway like submerged in water, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah,
it's a lot of little crazy stuff happening down here, but
yeah, Atlanta's not on. It's not. It's on my list to visit soon, but it's not.
What's your list of places to move?
So at one point I was looking at Texas because
Texas, it's a big state. Like
it's a big state. I know people there already.
San Antonio, Austin, Dallas.
Yeah, it's huge. Like I don't have to go like to Dallas necessarily. So it's a huge state. So I was looking at Texas.
Okay.
One of the
Texas.
Yeah, the upper part. So probably like, I guess we're in San Antonio, like more so the upper part of Texas.
Okay.
The Carolinas. I was looking at those as well. And I think Phoenix. So Arizona.
For why though?
At that point,
why would you move to Phoenix?
When I was looking, it was because my job had like locations in all those areas. So I was like, I could relocate. But now, since I mostly work remotely, it doesn't really matter. So
yeah.
But
yeah, Phoenix, man. Yo, I went there one time. I went there with Judah. We did a Super Bowl party for this big evangelical group or something like that back in like 2003, 4 something.
Mm-hmm.
But and it was like again around Super Bowl time, we talking about January, February up in there, and it was like 90 some odd.
Yeah, it's hot. It's hot all year. Yeah.
Like nah, not be around here.
I never experienced that, so I want to see what that look like.
Nah, it's none of that. You don't want that. You don't want the problems in the summer months. You don't want.
Yeah, probably. I can come back. I go somewhere else where it's cooler. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't want them problems, man. It was crazy and it's dry and arid. It's just like nah.
Yeah,
you don't want that. But anyway, I was about to ask one of y'all top 5 something. Oh, Coach. You feel like LeBron? I mean, not LeBron, but feel like Steph has made it into the top 10 all time.
He's in my top 10 now. But I told Tease that before. I think Tease, we talked about it on an episode. Was it before the playoff started or before the season started? I said if he wins the championship this year and wins the Finals MVP and wins the NBA MVP, I said I think now you have to start putting them in the top 10. Now of all time because of what he's accomplished. But yeah, he's in my top 10. He's in there now.
Yeah. for me, when people comes to that like debate, I think everybody has different criteria, but for me, it's like this. When you describe the game of basketball, the objective of the game of basketball is to shoot the ball in the goal, right? Because Steph is the greatest shooter of all time, for me, that's enough for him to be in the top 10. Like, how can the person who does the objective of the game better than anyone else ever in history, how can he not be in your top 10? You know what I'm saying?
People that don't have him up there.
I know, but that's what I'm saying, because they start looking at accolades, though. They start looking at how many achievements does he have. But I'm like, yeah, it's about an achievement. But when you look at like impact and the fact again that he's the best to ever shoot the basketball, which is the objective of the game, it's like, how can he not be?
Yeah, I get it.
I'm not trying to make him GOAT, but he got to be your top 10.
I get it. Yeah, I get it. And like you could make a case for it. Like whatever, totally honest, whatever criteria you have, that's fine. If he's in your top 10, that's fine. If he's not, that's fine. But I know for me, from how I looked at Steph and what he's accomplished, he is a top 10 player to me in my eyes now.
Yeah. Cool. And Jordan's the GOAT.
And Michael Jordan is definitely the GOAT.
Do you have LeBron at number 2?
No, I don't have LeBron that high. I have Kareem at number 2.
I was about to say you got Kareem at number 2. My God, that's my play cousin now, bro. Yeah, boy, when you put Kareem, that's how I have it. I have Kareem number 2. I think I got Magic number 3. It gets a little bit foggy for me after that. I definitely one of the things that because there's so many little things you can start to nitpick at. But even the KD thing, like I don't have KD. I don't see how some people have KD above people like Hakeem. Like, how do you have, I've seen rankings where KD is like 12 and Hakeem is like, 14 or 15. I'm just like,
I disagree.
Like,
no way he could be above Hakeem. And I love KD.
Yeah, I love KD too. He's one of my favorite players, right? But I'm just like, bro, no.
Yeah, people be stuck in the moment of like right now too. So, you don't really go back and look at those players as they should, but
we are such a like recency bias like culture right now. It's like the last is the best thing. Like that's it.
Prisoners of the moment.
Yeah, we are. This is the world we live in now. We are prisoners of the moment. Yeah, this is,
that's the time we live in. Well, Mike, I don't want to prolong your time. I know you're an hour.
You so churchy. You're not gonna prolong the time. You're not gonna prolong the time.
We start clapping.
We definitely appreciate. Shut up, Corey. We definitely appreciate you coming on and having a conversation with us. I just want to say, congrats on just everything that you got going on, and we definitely enjoyed the episode of Rat in the Kitchen. If you guys haven't watched it, y'all can go to y'all. It's on demand. So episode 9, that's the episode that Mike is on for sure. Follow him on IG. And even though I'm jealous because I haven't had any of his food, and I've known him for a very long time, but I'm gonna hold him to it next time he's in Chicago, bro. He gonna cook. We gonna get some of his food.
2020 is your year. I hear in the spirit. 2022 is gonna be your year.
Yeah, it's my year. So, but y'all definitely follow him, and don't forget to follow us too, on Instagram and on on Facebook, SOT Pod, some of that podcast. So, do y'all want to shout anybody out before we close out?
Shout out to the Corner Convo. Appreciate them for tuning in, listening. Shout out to the Reasonable Ignorant podcast. We got some coming up with them on your birthday, Latisse. I've already set it up. I already set it up. So we looking forward to that.
July 3rd is my birthday, but we're gonna record on I think the 6th. So for my birthday. So it's gonna be crazy.
Nice. Thank y'all for having me, man. I appreciate it. I enjoyed the convo. Appreciate it. Good stuff.
For sure. Y'all, thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for commenting. And those of you who didn't get it to watch the live today, I'll be posting it tomorrow. So you will get a chance to go back and look at it. All right.
Hit that subscribe button.
Hit that subscribe button, y'all.
Subscribe button.
All right. Y'all have a good one.
Y'all too. Peace.
Hey.
Peace.